Hi, my name is Christine,
And my name is Mary.
and we are sisters, and we are the co hosts of everyone's favorite podcast, Dawson Cries. uh,
Bold claim.
Bold claim, but it's true. Our listeners would agree.
Yes.
So if you're just joining us, I would recommend you probably start at the beginning, but I'm not going to make you stop listening if you really want to. But this this podcast was started by Mary and I because we just wanted something to talk about that wasn't current events, that wasn't things in our personal lives, that was just something more lighthearted. So we rediscovered, or we no, we discovered Dawson's Creek for the first time because we're both first time watchers, and we both.
We're virgins, just like
Oh my
Dawson.
God, yeah, we're patiently waiting for Dawson to lose his V card. Has not happened yet. It remains to be seen if it happens within the course of the series. Um, but yeah, we've been talking about our experience watching Dawson's Creek together and loving it. And it's brought in quite a lot of sunshine and joy to my life. And Mary, I'm sure you'd agree. It's done the same for you.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So Mary is
Brings me a lot of joy.
a lot of joy. Just buckets of it.
The most joy.
The most joyful thing in our lives right now is Dawson's Creek.
Stick around for more jokes just like that. Well, I'm happy to kick off this episode, which I'm just going to say right out the gate, I loved this episode. Tamara's return. Guess who's back? It's Tamara. It was a very exciting episode. Lots of drama, which I love. And it was very funny as well. So this episode opens not in Dawson's bedroom, but on the sand. And Dawson and Joey are making out like the teenagers that they are. And they're all over each other, rolling around in the sand. And Joey's like, no, 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 no. I am a modern woman. I do not make out in nature. I would like to be somewhere with some climate control where I'm not getting eaten up by mosquitoes. So she's not having it. Dawson's like, come on, let's make out. He's like being a dirty doggy D. And, they're just being playful, which is cute,
Yeah, Dawson is just such as in his dirty doggy mode that he just doesn't care about the
Mm-hmm.
bugs, doesn't care about the heat.
True.
But it was
Yeah.
it was cute the way he kind of helped Joey get over it.
True. But I mean, like, even now, like, not even when I was a teenager, but even now, if you really like someone and you're making out with them and it's like a little too hot or a little too cold, I don't complain. What about you?
No, I agree. I really don't either. I would complain if there were bugs on me because I would just not be
Right.
able to think about anything else. It would be a huge turnoff. So
Yeah.
bugs, Joey, I was like, yeah, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that with the bugs. But
Mm.
if I'm a little too hot, that's fine. If I'm a little too cold, Dawson's right. You have like a guy to warm you up. So
True.
the climate
True,
control,
true.
I can live without that. But maybe
Yeah, that sort of made me feel like Joey's interest might be waning.
exactly. Yeah, she's been with the D for a while, and it does it does set us up for what ultimately transpires in the ep. So, yeah, I think
True,
you're right
true.
on there, Mary.
Yeah. And then it cuts to Dawson with his dad, another dirty dog, who's he's looking to buy a new property for that restaurant we've all forgotten
Oh my
about.
God, I know.
And
I thought that would dream was over.
I kind of didn't even remember it existed. But yeah, he still wants to make the restaurant happen. He's determined to do it, and he's got a hot woman to show him a new property, and that woman just happens to
Dun
be
dun dun.
Tamara. I don't even remember her last name.
Miss
Jacobs. Miss
Jacobs. Oh,
Jacobs.
Mary.
I just know her by Tamara.
Tamara.
That's what she wants everyone to call
Yeah,
her.
she's ditched Miss
So
Jacobs now.
this was interesting to me because Mitch gave her a look like he thought she was hot, and I have always confused Gail and Tamara. So to me, I was like, oh, Tamara's probably Mitch's type because she looks a lot like Gail.
Yeah.
And
I was
seeing as he wants to step out, maybe something could happen there.
I know, I
That
was
was my
thinking
thought.
about you when I saw that because he definitely gave her like the look. Like he was totally interested.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like a sexy glance.
Yeah.
I was like, Mitch, your son is right there. He doesn't care though.
Dawson, no. But it would be funny if Dawson.
No, Mitch does.
Oh,
Mitch doesn't
Mitch.
care.
Dawson's oblivious. He's like, if it doesn't involve me, I'm
Yeah,
not going to notice it.
so true, so
Oh
true.
my god. But Dawson would, it would be funny if he did notice because he knows like about Tamar and Pacey.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he seemed very uncomfortable even being in Tamara's presence.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh my god, I have to go tell Pacey like right now. Guess who's back?" Um,
Right.
but it was funny too because this was another moment that reminded me that this show is older. Because like
Mm-hmm.
if that happened in present day, all you do is like whip out your phone and text your friend and be like, "Oh my god, I just
Totally.
saw Tamara." Maybe even like Snapchat a picture of her and send it to him.
Oh, absolutely.
But he can't, and he can't get any FaceTime with Pacey, and as a result, he can't fill her in or fill him in.
Well, this was what was like weird to me is that Dawson wouldn't even. He wanted it to be in private before he said that Tamara was back. Like he's like, I need to talk to him in private, but it's just Andy there, and Andy doesn't know who Tamara is, so he could have just been like, oh, remember Tamara? I saw her. She's in town. And they could have played it cool. And I have to be like, oh, the woman I had underage sex with? Oh my god. Like, just tell him the details and move on. Or whisper it in his ear. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Like you could have found a way to do it,
Yeah.
unless he was just so paranoid because it was such a big deal in the school. But yeah, whispering in the
Yeah.
ear, you
Yeah.
could have done it that way. But then we wouldn't have had the fun
True.
moment of them running into each other on the street.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun for sure. Fun
Oh,
for me to watch the awkwardness.
it was so awkward.
Oh
Oh
my
my god, it was
god.
ridiculous. But
Yeah.
yeah, we see before I think before we get to that moment, we see a little bit more of Pacey and Andy's budding flirtatious
Hello?
fighting
Oh,
romance.
I lost you for a minute.
Oh. I was just saying before we get the Pacey Tamara reunion, we get a little bit of Pacey Andy action.
Oh,
Um
yeah.
yeah, Andy has like a whole thing full of videotapes. And they're all like pretty embarrassing. And
Yeah, they really are.
yeah, but it's I think the most embarrassing one is the one that Pacey is also strangely infatuated with, which is Dumbo.
Right.
And that was just cute because they kind of play on each other's interests, but you know, Pacey admits to crying during it, and
Oh my god, I know.
yeah, and Andy, it really hits a chord with her because she says, "Just when I've written you off for good, you drop this Dumbo bomb on me."
Right.
Sorry, my notes I wrote jumbo bomb, and I was like, no, that's not right.
Jumbo bomb. Well, it's funny because it kind of made me realize how much Pacey is still just a boy. And, I had the same moment when he was really into Mighty Ducks. But it's like, yeah, he's still just a little boy.
Yeah, he doesn't need
And
a woman.
tomorrow's too grown for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. He also wears Tivas, which is maybe more of a
What are those?
those. Oh, I don't know if people still wear them, but they're like sandals that you wear that have Velcro straps. They
Oh
were like
God,
really
yeah.
the outdoorsy people were super into them.
Was he wearing them?
Yeah, he was. I was like, oh wow,
Oh
Pacey's and
wow,
Tivas.
that's hilarious. I mean, like last season he had frosted tips, so that was bad too.
Yeah.
Or that was this season, earlier this season.
Yeah, this was like the few episodes ago.
So,
He
you know.
he makes
Yeah.
some questionable fashion choices. Um, And we also get to see some of Joey and Jack's interactions more. That's
Yeah.
developing a little more. She just thinks he is
Mm-hmm.
a total spaz, just a complete klutz.
No.
Calls him Inspector
I feel so bad
Clouseau.
for
I do
him.
too. I mean, he's
She's being
clearly
real.
hurt
She's being
by
real
it.
mean.
I'm like, Joey, can't you tell? She's having a Dawson moment. She's like not picking up that
Yeah,
it's really making him upset.
exactly. But how could you not? Like, if you call someone a klutz and tell them that they're bad at their job, then obviously they're gonna be upset, right? I
Right.
mean,
Unless she's used to
it's like
Dawson, where she insults him and it's fine.
maybe.
But still, it's
I
just
mean, that's kind of how she flirts, you know?
yeah. Same with Pacey, I guess.
Yeah.
They are still
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
children.
because she's
Yeah.
mean to Pacey too.
Yeah. Yeah. Joey's just she's a
Yeah.
little. That's kind of her personality. She's a little mean to people, but not as
Rough around the
mean.
edges.
I will say, not as mean as Abby Morgan. Oh my god.
Oh, that girl is mean.
Mary, I cannot. I cannot. I would never be able to be her friend.
Ah, that's funny.
You
But
would?
she'd take you shopping and she'd buy you lipstick.
So Mary, I think we had a moment that we were cut off, but I wanted to re-ask the question about Abby Morgan. Would you ever be able to be friends with that girl?
Well, she does take you out shopping and she buys you lipstick. And
True.
she knows how to. She's bold in that she'll talk to hotties. But at the same time, she's a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
She's cruel.
Yeah.
So, like, in theory, I feel like I would, like, laugh with her when she's, like, doing goofy things trying to hit on men. But I don't think I would like her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel you.
Almost like a frenemy.
Yeah, she'd be a good friend of me. She'd be fun,
What do you
like,
think?
yeah, she'd be fun, like, once a month, maybe, when you really just felt like
Yeah.
going crazy.
Yeah.
And Jen seems to feel like going crazy quite often, but no, I'm not that
She
type.
does.
Yeah, she's
No.
always down for it. She did potentially hook Jen up with a hot fisherman, though.
A seaman.
Yes, who Jen was saying is way too old for Abby Morgan, so she has no problem with.
Well, this was extremely weird because she was like, haven't you ever heard of statutory rape? He's too old for you, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, when Jen was 14, she was dating bouncers and men who were in the military, men who were way older than her. So I was like, what is the story, Jen?
Yeah,
Like,
inconsistent.
Yeah, and I feel like that's on the writers, not on the character.
Right. Yeah, they never really explained the age and how that would be possible to be 14 and a bouncer. I mean, we know 14-year-olds are scrawny.
Yeah, they're not
They're
bouncers.
not bouncers.
Dishwasher, yes. Bouncer, no.
Yeah, so that was crazy.
Mhm.
But Abby does cheer Jen up, so I will give her a point for that because Jen is pretty down in the dumps after such a humiliating display last week.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Which
I don't even want to think
is
about
kind of
it.
Abby's fault too, but we don't really have to go.
Yeah, it
there.
is. Well, she gives bad advice. I mean, that's the other thing too.
Yeah, it's
Her
not.
advice was literally to take off her clothes. Like that's bad. That's bad advice.
Yeah, she's not the kind of friend you'd go to and like confide in and be like, "What do I do here?"
No.
She wouldn't help at all. Yeah. But, Dawson, we can go back to Dawson and Joey now. They are checking out a new lecture by the woman who kind of is like Joey's mentor. I guess she'll be back in a few episodes. I'm not really sure what her stretch will be. But she's giving an art lecture about an abstract expressionist painter, a very well-known one who I'd never heard of.
Jarvis.
Jarvis, yeah.
I don't. Is he real? Is it true, listeners?
Yeah, listeners. I was gonna do some research. There was like quite a few things that I felt like I really should know and didn't, and it felt stupid for not knowing them. But I'll just
Yeah, but this is my take. Like, if you are working on Dawson's Creek, and this is a real painter, and they show his paintings in the show, you're not going to get access to those paintings. If he's really this famous and they're in a museum, you're not going to get
Oh.
access to have them on film. So a lot of times on TV, when there's like a famous artist,
Hello?
it's always bullshit.
So, listeners, again, we got a little cut off. We're having some technical difficulties tonight, but I just want to thank Mary for teaching me something new about television and art. Because I never realized that most of the time it's just bullshit. They're not real artists at all.
Yeah.
But I will
You're
look
welcome.
forward to, maybe this will be my dare for you, Mary, trying to talk up this
Great.
crazy popular abstract expressionist Jarvis.
Who watch is going to be really embarrassing if he's real.
It would be
and we
so
don't know who he
embarrassing.
is.
What was it? Winter. I forget what his famous one in the show was called. Like Winter
Something with, like, a
Sticks or
knife.
something. Winter Knife.
It was
Yeah.
something
Oh my god,
silly.
that's so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, Dawson is not impressed with Jarvis or with the lecture. He's like yawning.
Oh.
Can't wait to get out of there. Joey is like enraptured. She's like, I think I found my calling. You know, she's loving it.
Mhm.
But, you know, Dawson's not into it, and that's fine. You know, Joey goes her way, Dawson goes his when it comes to art. But Jack is,
Mhm.
surprising to Joey, a huge art buff. You know, she, and Bessie too.
A Jarvis
Jarvis head,
freak,
yeah.
if you will.
Oh my god. Bessie, I feel bad for Jack when in that scene, because even Bessie was like, oh, he's a total F up. Like, he can't do anything right. Look at him how sitting over by himself, playing with the mayonnaise or whatever he's doing. Like,
Yeah,
I
that was
know.
a
It's like,
little
if Bessie
sad.
even thinks you're really a mess up, no shade on Bessie, but like, you're probably not doing so hot.
I'm sensing a little
God.
shade on Bessie.
It's much
but
less than
okay.
Joey threw on her, so I don't feel too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
damn, Jack is like a pity date for Joey. She's like, all right, Jack, let's go to this art show.
Yeah, for real.
But he kind of surprises her. You know, he drops all his Jarvis knowledge, and she's like, wow, I really judge you by your cover. And what I guess it's interesting, because what Dawson really hated about Jarvis and about abstract expressionism was that it was like, it's unresolved. It's not clean and neat and tidy. It's just like raw.
Dawson,
Yeah, Dawson can't. He cannot handle it. He needs to self-analyze until there's no stone left unturned and everything is beaten to death. But
yeah.
you know, Joey is refreshed by this, and Jack, it does it for him too. They don't need all the answers. They don't need a verdict. Dawson is like, you got to tie it up in a pretty little bow for me.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Jack even makes fun of someone who wouldn't be into it. He's like, can you imagine thinking that this was just some messy painting and not a beautifully emotional piece of
Yeah,
art?
he does do that.
And Joey's like, oh, that's
yeah, like, oops.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So they don't see eye to eye when it comes to that. But that does kind of hint at a larger problem. Kind of like the free advice that Mitch gave Dawson. Which,
yeah,
I don't know, seemed like a typical man thing to say, but, oh, if there's an issue your girlfriend has, it's probably not about what she's actually talking about. It's probably about some mysterious other reason. Like, all right, Mitch. In this case, yeah, Joey was doing the subtext thing, but, you know.
Right. That could be an alternate title for this episode, the subtext thing.
Oh my god, yeah, they really are. It's true.
You know?
Yeah, Pacey Tamara, big time. It's funny how they do subtext though, because they do it, but they really make it obvious. Like,
yeah, they do it, but they
don't. They try, but they're like teenagers.
They're like, let's talk about that time we boned. Oh, they're like, let's talk about that time we boned, but not talk about that time we boned. Ready? 1, 2, 3, we boned. Do you remember? It's like, no, you guys, you're doing it wrong.
I know. Well,
Oh
I
my
guess they
God.
figured we have teenagers as our audience. We have to be a little obvious for
Yeah.
them. But
I guess.
some
It was
yeah,
kind of
it was
hilarious.
funny. I still liked it, but it wasn't as
No,
subtle
I
as you
liked it
thought,
too.
or as they.
It wasn't
No, it
Pinterest.
was not. Um. Yeah. So I think then we're finally at the Pacey Tomorrow reunion, and he is like, "Oh
Oh,
no, did I miss
well.
something? Go. You can go
Oh,
ahead."
yeah, that's true. No, we are. Well, just that Joey goes to a drawing class. Oh, no, no, no. No, you're right.
Sorry. Oh,
This comes
okay.
first.
Well, yeah, he's. I mean, it's that sidewalk meeting we kind of alluded to before, and he's like tomorrow struck. He like literally is speechless. It's so awkward.
It was really crazy.
It was, and I
awkward
really
as
felt
hell.
bad for Andy. I mean, I like Tamara, but I was just like, I like Andy. I
No, you like them
know.
both. Who do you like more?
Oh, I mean, I can't like Tamara more because she's not
Christine.
going to be in this show for a long time.
But you would if you
Oh no,
did.
I really do like Andy. She's just a good person. Tamara's a difficult person.
Tomorrow's
She's a little
criminal.
breaking a little bit of the law there. Yeah. But what I
For
don't,
sure.
and I know this is obviously a flawed argument because Pacey isn't only 15. He likes Dumbo. He clearly doesn't have his full mental development finished yet. But he just seems so
Right.
honestly uh, consenting of the relationship. Like he just seems like he's like going into it with his eyes open. Like she didn't. I don't think she did any manipulation of him. Uh, it just seems like a genuine attraction that they both have and can't help, but they know it's wrong. So it feels a little less wrong, even though I know it's not an excuse.
Dig your grave. Dig your grave, Christine.
I know.
You're a Tamara apologist till the
It's so
end.
bad, guys, listeners. Don't at
It's
me because I know I'm
hilarious.
wrong. But it's like what Jen said. If being bad means walking around in a perpetual state of loneliness and depression, then bad girl it is.
You mean not walking around in depression?
Yes, I do mean not walking around.
I was like, she wants to be depressed all the time? News
Oh,
to
my
me.
bad. I actually have I forgot to write the knot in there, and I wrote the little carrot, and I put the
Right.
knot, but I didn't see it when I was reading it aloud.
Oh. Yeah, the carrot very
No, I
rarely
just
works
breezed
for
right
me.
by it. Not super effective.
Yeah.
I know.
Oops.
So yeah, tomorrow's back.
Tamara is back, baby, and she's wearing another little skimpy dress like she was the first time we
Yeah,
met.
she is.
Little nightgown,
Floating onto the set.
as she's wont to do. Oh my god, it's funny. Yeah, and it's like pretty obvious that there's like a sexual tension there. But I don't think Andy really picks up on it. She seems kind of clueless.
Maybe
to
she
it.
just didn't want to. I don't know. She didn't want to go there.
Yeah,
But I mean,
maybe.
what could you really say? Like they're not dating at that point. Um,
Yeah, but you could be like, did you sleep with that old woman?
yeah, I mean,
I don't
it's
know.
true. But
It is
Pacey doesn't even
weird.
really give her the chance because he like runs after her.
Well, yeah, he does immediately leave their hangout. Like he kind of asked her to hang, and then he was like,
I know, yeah, and
"Oh,
he's
forget
like,
it.
I have absolutely nothing
here."
else to do. And he's like, oh wow,
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, I
what
gotta
a
go."
nice offer.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, he bags on her.
Oh
big
man,
time.
bags on her quick. I mean, I guess I could see if I could bag on her.
Oh, there's a lot of bagging in the show. So
Oh
much
my
bagging.
god,
Yeah.
there is a lot of bagging.
But yeah, he.
So Joey's
Oh yeah,
taking
yeah.
a art class, and her mentor thinks she's really talented. And it's nice to see someone taking an interest in Joey's academic life and her future.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's not the first one. Like, she did get picked to go to Paris.
Oh, that's true. She turned that
She
down
did
real
for
quick.
D. Oh my God. But Joey,
I know. And it looks like she's gonna turn down the
the art.
the artist life
Oh, Joey.
too.
Well, no, I think hopefully she'll wise up by then. But like, it was nice. It was nice to see that she has a hidden talent. But it's funny because this is the
Yeah.
first, unless it was mentioned about her mom being an artist previously. This is the first I've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Joey really hid the talent from
Me too.
everybody, even from Dawson.
Yeah, and it kind of made me mad. Yeah, it made me upset because Dawson says like, "Oh, I'm really supportive of this new hobby," and she's like, "How come your movies are your whole life and my drawing is just a hobby?" And it's like because you literally just started doing it today.
Yeah.
Like he's been interested in movies his entire life, and you got interested in drawing today. If you're still interested in it in 5 years, then it's more than a hobby. But like, you don't get to like I don't know. It just made me mad. You don't get to claim that you're an artist just because you draw. You go to one class.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good way to put it because, I mean, it kind of hints that she drew when she was a kid, but obviously it's not something she's
Right.
been doing consistently, or lately.
Yeah.
Um, but I did have a lot of respect for her in that moment for calling him out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Yeah.
standing up for herself because it is kind of lame if someone's like, "Oh, someone said I had a lot of talent," and then just to like, "Oh, it's just your hobby." But I do agree with
But
you.
I could see that if he said it's just your hobby, but that wasn't what he said. He was like, "This is so great. You're really good at this. I'm really supportive. I'm behind you 100%." And then he just called it a hobby. But like, I, I really don't think he was trying to be malicious. It just seemed like
Yeah. Well,
I don't
maybe
know.
again, this was another example of Joey um, doing the pretext thing, acting mad about this, but she's
Right.
really just mad about what we'll get to in the end of the episode.
Something else. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, so then Andy rocks up to Dawson's
Andy.
house. She's got a question and a confession combo, which, which is pretty funny. I mean, I wish I could say that I have grown out of this stage. I'm almost 30, and I feel like I still have the urge to ask friends of friends, does this person like me?
Mary, yeah.
Do you know? Do you know if this person likes me? I don't think we really grow out of that, unfortunately. Maybe our listeners
Yeah,
have,
tweet us if you
but
have and tell us your age so we have something to look
I'm
forward
still
to.
yeah, because I'm still 15 at heart in my dating life,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I have to say though, it's
Oh,
like it's immature, but it's also I have to give her some credit because she's not asking like a
yeah.
girlfriend of hers. She's asking Dawson, who she doesn't
Mm-hmm.
really admit. She admits she doesn't even really know him at all, and that's putting herself
Yeah,
out there. And
it
she's
is.
very obviously
Yeah.
nervous. Like she's playing with Dawson's boxers.
Yeah,
It's a
that
little
was kind of
gross.
gross.
Like his dirty D was in
I was like,
there.
ooh, you know where that dirty dog has been?
Yeah.
Was Katie
Oh,
Couric on this
ew.
morning? Watch out.
Walking that dirty dog.
Ew,
Oh
walking
my
the
god.
dog.
Um,
Yikes.
but yeah, she does ask him, and Dawson he does make fun of her a little bit. But I thought it was nice how Andy is like going back and forth like, oh no, I don't like him. He's an obnoxious pig. All this stuff. But then
Yeah.
Dawson throws her a bone. He's like, well, I've known Pacey a long time, and when he acts like an obnoxious pig, it's usually his attempt at flirtation. So he's trying to like be nice
Right.
to Andy there.
Yeah, and he's also like, well, he hasn't said anything to me, but that doesn't mean he doesn't like you. Which is pretty true because, like, when Pacey was screwing around with Tomorrow, he didn't tell anyone until they watched the sex tape. So Pacey does play it close
Good
to
point.
the
Yeah, he
chest.
does not kiss and tell. Yeah,
No.
yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah. And Abby and Jen are having a little post shopping spree
They are.
luncheon, and they spy a sexy seaman eating his lunch. Thank you for
It's
laughing
so
at
funny.
that twice. Eating his lunch. He's pretty hot.
Yeah, he's the tall, dark, and handsome type.
Yeah, not to
Sorry,
objectify
Vincent, but
I'm
Abby
gonna
and
do it
Jen were
anyway.
doing it. We're just for the sake of the
We're
pod,
just
we
doing
have
the
to
same
weigh
thing.
in.
Yeah. He does look closer to our age
Most
than
definitely.
theirs.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad they
Yeah.
acknowledge that. Even if they don't seem to really
Right.
care, they just do it for the sake of having
Right.
to say it. But Abby is really the one who's like gaga over Vincent at first. She's bold. She just calls to him, gets his name,
Mm-hmm.
really, aggressively comes on to him. And
She's
oh
way
my God,
bolder
me
than
too.
I
I'm
would
not.
be. Yeah, this is one of the lines she says. We don't bite
Oof.
unless we're asked to. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
girl.
I mean, Jen, of course, I can see now why Abby would tell Jen to take off her clothes, because Abby would do it, it wouldn't be a big deal at all. She'd be like, she's like, I'm not
do it in a
embarrassed.
heartbeat.
Nothing embarrasses me. Wow. Very
Nope,
shameless. But, man, sometimes you gotta read the room. And, like...
Yeah, well, that's the lesson Vincent will learn.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
Vincent,
boy.
I mean, he is kind of, like... playing it cool, but he does seem to be a little bit into Jen in that scene.
Yeah, I mean, he gives Jen more of a look. And he asks Jen the questions.
Yeah, and he asks her name, and
so
you kind of get the vibe that he's like got the hard eyes for Jen more than Abby.
Right.
And we get,
which is like what you said the other week. You got to play hard to get. Jen's not. She's like facing away from him. She's not really giving too much away.
Yeah, it's true. It's sad but true, I guess. It hopefully doesn't always work, like,
Yeah.
But it's true, like, if you're kind of like Abby, it comes off as a little desperate.
Well, yeah, I mean, the way the things she was saying
She
were
was
a little,
really over the top.
I mean, I would be scared if someone said.
No, I know, yeah. It's like, Abby, say hello first, like.
If you want me to bite you, I will. Like, oh.
Yeah,
no,
like,
thank
oh,
you,
I'm gonna
goodbye.
get the check, like.
That's like someone came up to me a week ago and literally said, "Do you want to make out?" I was like, "No."
Wow, at least they asked.
Like someone I didn't know. Yeah, like at least they asked, but it was just kind of funny. I was like,
Where were you?
It was just hilarious. Well, this was at that party
gotcha.
I went to. Yeah, so we don't have to go.
Yeah, listeners, if you're interested, just tweet at Mary and maybe she'll give you the details.
Yeah, tweet at me.
That's a
Ask
juicy
me and I'll
story.
tell you all about it. Yeah, if you're in New York, there's a fun show that you can go to.
Yeah,
anyway,
moving on. Well, I know we talked about this a bit already, but I think the next scene is when Dawson and Joey have their little spat over the hobby thing. And, they talk it out, but they don't really talk it through. Because...
Interesting
what's that?
distinction.
Yeah, I guess they talk, they address it, but they don't come to a final conclusion. So, Dawson is kind of left hanging, and Joey is just like, deal with it. I'm going to leave you in this unresolved state, and you're going to be squirming about it all day. So...
Right. That's her move, though. She loves tormenting.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I think she's just does it so blindly with Jack and doesn't seem to see, like, why is he so upset by this? I do this to Dawson 24/7, and now we're dating.
Man.
Like,
Right. Yeah, it's not the nicest
No,
thing to do to
that's
someone.
not. But then I think we go back to Tamara and Pacey.
We do, and they have their pinter
The
moment on the
pinter
dunes.
moment. That's right. This was another thing, Mary, I felt. Is Tamara told Pacey to go back to school. Because it's like, I don't know, pinter.
Right, exactly. He's like, who's this painter guy? And I was like, oh, Pacey.
Yeah.
And she's like, stay in school. I was like, girl.
That was a
lecture
funny
him.
line, though. It's like,
Okay.
aw, Tamara.
I mean, it was funny, but at the same time, I was like, come on.
Yeah, but they're just, what are they doing? Just staring at each other?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Oh,
pretty
that's
awkward.
right. Yeah.
And he says, this is awkward. She's like, it's supposed to be awkward. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
fair
good
play.
read. I was glad that Tamara, didn't try to mask the awkwardness. She's like, yeah, that should be this way.
Right.
That was
Yeah,
good.
that's true. It would be very strange if it was not awkward.
Yeah, it would be. That would be even more awkward. You can't escape. You just can't escape the awkwardness.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, basically the gist of it is their feelings are just too overwhelming to address head on. So, they leave them out unspoken. They're just silent or talk about something else when they're really talking about their overwhelming feelings.
Yeah.
Then...
Well, and then Pacey goes looking for advice to Dawson.
Yeah.
And in Dawson's speech, he does no subtext. He says, why don't you go out with someone who does like you? Definitely. And he's like, who's that? And he's like, Andy.
Mary.
She told me she likes you. And it's like pretty straightforward there. No subtext.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And Pacey's like, no, Andy's just a girl, and Tamara's a woman. And Dawson's like, yeah, and you should be with a girl because you're a boy. And I thought that
it was funny. It was good advice. Yeah.
It was good advice. I was surprised.
It was. I was a little worried there. I was like, what is he going to say?
Yeah, I was like, yeah. Make
my God. Yeah, it's like, let me film. Good practice for my career.
Oh my God.
But I was kind of surprised that he told Pacey what Andy told him.
I know. I wrote down blabbermouth in my notes.
I wrote, oh my God, no, don't tell Pacey about
like,
Andy.
You don't just spill it like that, D. You gotta be more subtle and find out what Pacey's thinking and then tell
Exactly.
Andy.
Well, Dawson, he can't leave things unresolved. He's just gotta hit it head on. It's so funny.
It's the worst.
Oh my God. I liked it. I was kind of hoping that he would be like, Pacey, you have a secret admirer. Because how fun would it be to see Pacey try to figure out?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. That would have been next time. The reboot.
Yeah.
Oh,
the characters are 60.
Oh, yeah. So I was a little shocked
that would be
he just spilled
funny.
the beans, but...
I don't know, he just came right out with it. I was like, oh, remind me not to tell
Yeah,
Dawson
secrets are not safe with Dawson.
No.
But yeah, it's a lot of old and young. So Jen and Vincent are kind of like the Tamara Pacey.
Oh,
yeah,
that's true.
Doing some age play in this episode. It's a little weird. And Abby too. Abby's into Vincent too. Can't forget. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Mitch is with Tamara, finally looking at the warehouse.
Yeah.
After this.
This is a good scene.
Wait, is that where we're at?
I think something happens with Jack because I just wrote dopey klutzy Jack, haha, in my notes.
Yeah, we already talked about it though.
We've
been around a bit.
Okay, we don't need to go back. We've kind of covered them. Yeah.
We don't need to relive it. So yeah, Mitch is touring the warehouse or whatever space it is, and he likes it. And then he immediately starts asking Tamara a bunch of personal questions, like, "Oh, were you a freshman student?" Sorry, listeners. And Tamara's basically just like, "Yeah." She doesn't try to hide it. She's just like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that." Yeah. And I was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
shameless."
But then she's like, well, I've heard the gossip about you, Mitch. You don't have a clean slate.
And it's like, he's not a, pedophile. He's just his wife
No,
cheated
it's
on
true.
him.
It's not totally an equivalent argument.
It's not really the same
Yeah.
category.
Yeah, I know.
But whatever.
Um,
Tomorrow. Oh,
yeah, they just pushed
hate
each
sack
other's buttons.
fools.
It was weird.
It was weird. And I was like, oh, I guess Mitch isn't gonna make a move.
Yeah, no, I had like an inkling of it in the beginning, and then it fizzled.
Yeah, I wonder if he thinks it's Dawson.
That would be interesting. I wonder. I feel like Mitch would just seeing his behavior of him with Joey. I think he might want to confront Dawson about that if he thought it was him.
Yeah, I mean, he probably knows it's not because Dawson is very innocent.
Yeah, he's not the type.
But he doesn't seem to. I don't know. I wonder if he would be territorial if he knew it was Pacey. Because he does sort of seem to see.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure. Because they're best friends. Yeah, I'm sure he'd be very upset about it. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Man. Well, maybe we'll learn more. I wonder how long Tamara will be around for.
Maybe. I don't know. I kind of feel like she's just in this episode and then she goes. I think this might be the last.
I mean, it did kind of come to a resolved ending with her and Pacey. That's one thing that did seem pretty resolved. So you're right. She might be out.
Yeah. So then Abby and Jen go out trolling the docks looking for Vince. And miraculously,
it takes them like 2 hours though. I don't know if he's worth that. That's a lot.
Yeah,
I know. It's like, that's creepy. But how does Jen not realize that that's what they're doing?
Yeah, right.
It's like Abby. She's tricky. She wants Vincent.
Yeah.
They do eventually find him up on the boat, the swordfish boat, shirtless. Yeah.
Flexing his muscles.
And Abby just does a lot of similar types of really, really like aggressive coming on to him, and invites him out even for a drink.
To go drinking.
Yeah.
Which I'm like.
It's like, Abby, if you're talking about drinking in like Jen's Graham's bedroom with your imported bubbly, that's like all you can really do.
Right. Right, exactly. Like, she must have a face.
Yeah, or a relationship with a bouncer, maybe. Although I feel like that would have come out because Jen had that. So I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, she seemed to know the place, though. She said all the laborers.
That's right. Yeah, she did.
That
that really won Vincent's heart. Oh my god.
Yeah, he was like,
he did.
F you, Abby.
Like, I don't want you. You're slumming it,
yeah,
little princess jerk.
Yeah. I called her teeny bopper, and I was like, Jen is also a teeny bopper, so the fact that you then immediately said
it is.
Very weird.
It's like, oh, Jen's supposed to seem so much more mature. She's really just silent, you know? She's just silent. If we had the Jen from Dawson's bedroom, I wonder what his reaction would have been. Although I think he was really upset with the laborer comment more than anything, I think. Yeah, I think that's really insulting.
Yeah, that really seemed to piss him off.
And I mean, Abby is annoying, so I can't really blame him for that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Jen does try to get him to change his mind. She's like, look, she just really likes you. Sometimes she can put her foot in her mouth, but she means well. You know, she's like being a good friend. But Vincent's like, nah, I saw
Mm-hmm.
through her. I don't want her. But I do want you.
Yeah.
So he invites her out, tells her to
Mm.
leave Abby at home, and they kind of give each other the look there.
Yeah. The look. So I'm wondering if she does go out with him or not.
Me
You know,
too.
I'm
I
curious.
know. I mean, she kind of talked with Abby and said, "Oh, you can have him if you want." But then Abby really uh, threw it in her face when she said, "Oh, rejection is your specialty." Ouch.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah. So I don't know.
All
They
right.
might not be friends for very long. I also thought it was interesting that Abby. I might be jumping ahead a bit, but Abby did
It's
say,
okay.
"You don't compete with your friend over a guy. That's not what friends do." And that's exactly what Joey
Mm.
and Jen have done, like up until this point.
It's true.
They're
Well,
not
they're not
friends
really friends
anymore.
anymore.
They're not. But they were friends for a while they were both like openly in love with Dawson.
Yeah,
It
they
is
were. It's
weird.
very
It's like, is
weird.
that even possible? I don't know.
And Jen mentioned that she
She
misses being friends
did.
with
She
them.
did. Yeah.
So I don't know.
They
The
have a
whole thing
lot of
is
like
very
burnt
odd.
bridges to repair if they're gonna get back.
Yeah, they really do. It's like
Oh,
very fraught
yeah.
on all sides. Like Joey still doesn't know that Jen's always making out with
Yeah.
Dawson every
Good point.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like is she gonna be pissed when she finds out about that? I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, and then like Jack gives her some advice, like don't waste your time drawing a bowl of fruit. You should be drawing what you love.
Yeah. I liked that advice because it is true. You always have to
Yeah.
draw something stupid. Like I'm not like an artist, but I did take
Yeah.
art
Like
class in high
yeah.
school, and you draw like dumb stuff.
Yeah. You're like draw your toaster. It's like, I'm so inspired.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'd rather not. It's just make something
No.
fun really boring.
When do we get to the nude
I want to draw the
drawings?
dirty D. That's what Joey's thinking. Oh,
Yes.
she
Yeah.
does.
She does.
Yeah.
I mean, not nude, but she
Yeah.
does draw the
In a
D.
profile.
And yeah, his face looks a little
Joey,
weird.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe that mentor was just make you feel good.
It was like a little stretched out. His face.
Mary's like, you're not a great artist.
Okay. No, that's not what I'm saying.
No.
I just think it took me a second to
I
realize.
mean,
it was
as soon as Jack said that, I was kind of like, oh, she's gonna draw Dawson, because that's all she loves.
Right.
But it
That's
was
funny.
it was kind of good the way that she came. Maybe she had to do that to come to the realization, like sitting down. What do I love? All she could think of is D, and she's like, uh oh.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is what's the problem underneath all of the bickering about abstract expressionism is that she has nothing in her life except for Dawson, and that's not okay with her. Which good, because it's you should have other interests outside of your romantic partner. It's just healthier.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is healthy. Yeah.
And it was, again, like the show does kind of impress me for how much they go into male female relationships like this, like even back in the 90s, because Joey even says like, yeah, I was your sidekick, I was just going along supporting you in whatever you did, and that's very comfortable for you. Like she called that out. Like guys, of course they'd be fine with it, but for me it's scary because if I ever lost you, then what? And that's not a super fulfilling life,
True.
as you know, Mary. As you know, and I know, and everyone knows, every woman knows, everyone knows. I didn't mean to say
I'm like,
just you.
I guess
That did come
I
out.
don't
That did come
behave
out
that
wrong,
way,
Mary,
but
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
As you know, Mary.
Oh no, you're not. You're definitely not
no.
the type that would only have an interest in the guy you're with. So guys, take note. If you're with Mary, she's gonna have other interests too.
If you're with me, you're just gonna be my hobby, and my other stuff is gonna be my main squeeze.
That's just how it is. Yeah.
Be prepared. Yeah. Oh God. So what comes next after that? Well, she shows Dawson the
Yes,
portrait.
he really
loves
does.
it.
And I think that really moved him because he gave her a
Yeah.
hug and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to go anywhere. Don't worry."
Right.
And then
Yeah, but we've all heard that before.
well, that's true too. That's something you could say, "Christine, don't you know?" And I'd be like,
You know.
"Yeah."
Yeah. Yeah,
I hear
I know
that.
that.
I
I hear
know.
that.
And Dawson was like, "I just don't want us to fight." And Joey, I thought, had a really killer line
Right.
that I wasn't fighting with you, I was fighting with myself. Very insightful. Too insightful for a high school kid, but
Yeah.
I appreciated it. And then, she kind of goes on, though, to say she just doesn't know. She's at a war with herself as if she should push Dawson away or if she should hold him tight.
Right.
And Dawson's like, well, which side of you won? And Joey was just saying, like, well, we're going to have to leave this unresolved because it's unresolved in her. The blob of paint, I really, yeah, that was a great line too.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so much on again, off again with Dawson and Joey. It's kind of annoying. I mean, every episode.
I know.
It's like, we're together.
It is annoying.
You know.
Yeah, it's like they really can't enjoy each other just being together.
No.
And Joey is not. I mean, it seems like Dawson actually really enjoyed the way things were. Like he wants to go back to that, but Joey really doesn't. So either things have to change, or Joey is not going to be happy, and it's not going to work ultimately. So we'll see how it plays out.
Very true. Very true. And then Pacey does one last visit with Tamara. He shows up at her space. He says, "Listen, babe, I'm a man now. What we had, it was hot, it was sexy. But ultimately, I understand it can't go on. It had to end. But I just want you to know that I'm cool." And she's like, "Wow, you certainly have grown up." They immediately mound each other.
They cannot resist.
They can't resist each other. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. They're just, their chemistry is off the chain that it's hard to, like...
Their chemistry is
off I mean, it maybe in comparison to all these, like, really... the couples that just have zero chemistry, having to suffer through that, you can't help but be like, yeah, that works, when you see one that does.
Yeah, that looks like fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so cute how Pacey was, like, trying to play the tough, mature guy, like, I'm over you. Yeah.
That was cute.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. And Tamara was digging it.
Yeah, it was like the black eye moment. Yeah. And then they both give each other the look, and it's like instant makeout.
Boom, we're making out.
But it was good. I was like, that's their closure, maybe.
But then, yeah, there was closure, because then he says, like, I know it has to be over. I just need to know one thing. Do you miss teaching?
And Tamara says.
And she's like, I do.
Very much. Very much.
Like,
yeah.
Very much. And then
Your
he says,
teaching.
I miss having
very much.
teaching.
It's so cute. It's like, oh, there's the picture moment.
I mean, it was sweet, though. It was a sweet...
It was so, yeah. It was, like, ideal. Like, they both are, enjoy what they have, but know they have to leave it behind and no hard feelings. It's beautiful. Yeah. More mature than most relationships end at any age. So, hats off to them. Yeah,
exactly.
But it's nice, because now Pacey that's off his mind. He can...
Yeah, he can officially move on.
And he does have a real cute girl to move on to, who's sitting at a coffee shop. Mm-hmm. Pacey just, like...
Yeah, Andy kind of looks like...
Yeah, she does, kind of. She has... Well, yeah. She's, like, got the classy look, and, same length hair, yeah. Mm-hmm. She's less, Like Vixen soap opera style. She's much more awkward and genuine, but I
Yeah.
think that's good. Yeah.
She's much. Yeah. Right. And she knows right away when she sees Pacey. She's like, Dawson told you.
Yeah, that was funny. I was like, wow. She could tell.
Yeah. Yeah. She wants to talk about it.
It was so funny too when Pacey's like trying to deny it and she says, "Don't play dumb. I hate it when dumb people play dumb. It's so disconcerting."
Yeah.
Yeah, they have good
That was
chemistry
funny.
too. I'm
They do.
shipping
They
them.
do.
Oh,
I'm shipping
yeah,
them
Mare.
too. Yeah. And then he says, they
Yeah,
see
they
tomorrow
do.
walk by. And she's like, don't you know that woman? And he's like, I used to. Not anymore.
Somebody that he used to know. Maybe you should sing. You should sing it.
Yeah, you could say that.
You haven't sang yet.
So, someone that I used to know. I don't know the
Oh.
tune.
Yeah, it's somebody that I used to know. Something like that.
There you go. You got
There
it.
you go, listeners. We had to
Somebody
put a little
that I
musical
used
number
to
in there for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I forgot about
Aw,
my
it's okay,
song
Mary.
today. Was all
Oh,
it was all the
listeners, I don't know what was
technical
going on.
difficulties.
I think restarting the computers helped. We had to restart for
Yeah, it
you
did.
because we love you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, we
No.
weren't going to give up on you. You know,
I also-
we believe. And you know, we were talking today about all our Ride or Die listeners, and we appreciate you, and you know, we love getting to chat every
It is.
every week.
It's been like a highlight of
Over-
of my Fridays now.
Christina, you wanna admit that?
I mean, during the workday Friday, because I'll be at work and I'm
During
like,
the
oh, it's
workday, sure,
Friday.
sure.
It's almost the weekend. And usually Fridays, every other Friday is like insanely busy because we put newsletters out on Monday,
Yeah.
so we have to do all the editing on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm always like, when I see the Dawson tweets come in, I'm like, yeah, people are listening.
Yeah.
It's just cheerful.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
So
It's fun.
shout out to all of you.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah, so listeners, you're going to be shocked to hear that neither Christina or I even
Can
remembered
you believe
what
it?
ours were at the
What
start
a
of this
departure from the
episode.
norm.
Mine were so... I had such an easy one that I
Mary,
really
yours
could've done.
was.
What was
It
it?
was so
It was,
easy. Oh,
that's
let me
such an
find
easy
it.
one. It was,
Yes!
Make It Happen.
Make
How did
It
I not
Happen.
say that? I don't know, because I forgot. Yours are
Oh,
this week are going to be
Mary.
hard because there's not a lot that
All
I can
right.
work
Well,
with. So this is what I wrote. Let me see the quotes I have. I didn't even take down too many quotes.
I wrote some quotes.
So
Let me see.
get ready for a real fun one. Let's see. Okay, you can either say, I don't mean to sound like a
I do
blob of
like
paint.
that a lot.
Or you can say, I love laborers. They're sexy and they. know
Oh,
what to do
good
with their
lord, you're gonna make me
hands."
sound like a asshole.
Well, you can
Oh,
say
yeah.
the other one.
I love laborers. They're sexy. There, you're loving it already.
And they know what.
They
and
know what to do with their hands. Oh, whoo boy. With their hands.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I doubt I'll say that one. Perhaps I'll say the blob of paint because that's a funny line. Like, what does the blob of paint
Yeah,
sound
it is.
like? I'm not sure.
Drippy.
Drippy. Very silent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like watching paint dry.
Yeah,
See
so
that
Mary, I'm
company?
going to give you, here's one that I have written down. This is when Dawson is, when Andy comes over to Dawson's house and he's doing his laundry, and he says, I'm just having a domestic spell.
Oh my god. Okay. That means I have to clean.
I'm getting your apartment clean in the process of giving you quotes. Yeah.
The day.
What else? Oh, you could say this one. This is one that Pacey said to Andy right at the very end when they're back in their like play
Mhm.
fighting flirting mode, he says, "You bring
Mhm.
out the sadist in me." You could say that.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
funny.
that was
Yeah.
funny. They have a very cute
Yeah, and
romance
it's
setting.
fun. It's not like one of the ones where it's like Dawson and Joey, where it's just so like, oh my god, I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna flop on the bed.
Yeah, I mean that's
So
so
heavy.
heavy. I like this
Right,
lighter
they're just
romance.
like having fun with it, which is awesome. Much more
It's more
youthful.
youthful.
Yeah. So those are your two, Mare.
Awesome. I love it.
We'll see if we do it this time. Listeners, I did put them in my phone this week, and I still
Yeah, you
didn't,
still
but at
didn't do
least
'em.
I had thought about it. I'm going to try. No,
No,
Mary. I'm going to try to do the blob of paint.
that doesn't count.
I'm going to try my best.
Yeah, try.
Well,
That's
we're
all
all just
any of
trying
us
to get
can
by. You're right. Hopefully we succeed.
do. True. Well, listeners, it's
Yeah.
been great. I hope you enjoyed this app, and yeah, thank you for listening all
Yes,
the way to the
we
end.
really appreciate it. All right, we'll catch you next week, listeners. Bye.
Bye.